All right. Good morning. It's September 17th, 11:02 a.m. This is the video I said I was going to do of recording. Partially over what happened Monday night at the council meeting, but I have to go back. I'm going back here to this is September the 16th, city council meeting from September of 2024. Now, this is what I do. I go back and look over the minutes. I see what they say, what's written down, if the minutes are accurate, and I compare it with the meeting on demand or the live stream video. Because I was told on July the 1st, and Councilwoman Springowski spoke at council and said, if anybody wants to know what the minutes are about, they can always watch the live stream. Okay? On June the 17th, Brianna Dahl and Maggie Parton told me and my wife the same thing. They didn't have the minutes ready from the June 10th committee meeting. So they told my wife and I that we can always watch the live stream to compare the minutes. Well, this is just one example of what I do, which people don't, they seem to have a problem with this. So I'm going to try and show this right here. This is going to be Joel Arredondo speaking. This is the September the 16th, 2024 meeting. Let's listen to what Joel has to say. And then I'll stop and go back and look at the minutes.
On top, so they're waiting for that prefab home. But in the meantime, I guess Mr. Fasciata made some agreement with owners that they could stay in that trailer until their home comes there. But it's not according to code. But sure, once again, that's what he did. So just that's what I know about that one on 8th Street.
I appreciate that. And I do want to say I have been working with HP, and they have been very communicative and working with me on it. I just wanted to bring it up because now there is a second one, so I just don't want there'd be a third and a fourth or just something like that. But yes, thank you, sir.
No, that's good. Ms. Kempton.
Yes, I actually was going to talk about the camper on 8th Street. I now have 3 more campers on.
I want to stop right there. If you notice that Joel said, after Nutt was done, he said, Miss Kempton. That's on the meeting on the video, but it's not in the minutes. How come? How come it's not in the minutes? They're supposed to take accurate minutes. This is what my question has been for a couple of years with the clerk doesn't seem to be getting accurate minutes. I go online, I watch the video, and then I compare it with the minutes, and they don't compare. Why? Why is that? And then when I question it, and I'm accused of trespassing and intimidation and yelling and screaming over stuff, this is what their jobs are. This is what I do. This is what I follow up on. Let's continue with what Miss Kempton said.
18th Street, and then I have a camper on East Street. So I don't really understand why we are having so many trailers and campers pop up. I do know that there is a homeless crisis, but I mean, we can't continue to have this.
Okay, now, she says we can't continue to have this. Now, let's see what is written here next and what is stated here next, okay? Let's listen.
I mean, you have cords running across the street. You have people who don't have proper toilets. It is a problem.
Thank you. Mr. DeMacchia.
Yes, through the chair of the council and general public, I guess I'll stay on that topic for a quick second because I do agree. I'll echo the same comments that the situation.
All right. There's nothing in the minutes where he says Mr. DeMacchia. Why aren't the minutes accurate, people? I don't know. You people tell me this is what I do, and I get called idiot. I get called names. Why am I picking on Mary? Why am I picking on this? Well, I'm picking on the clerk. She doesn't do the job. And nobody, the council, they don't go back and rewatch their videos, and they don't proofread their minutes to see if she's correct. This is all violation of law. But still, as soon as somebody points it out that, oh, you're picking on our groupie, I mean, you're picking on this one, you're picking on that one, or you're picking on the cops. Well, remember, these people are all in one clique. They're all elected to one clique. They're going to cover themselves and their asses. Let's go back here and listen to Demakia.
8th in Washington, absolutely ridiculous. They're using as a campground. I mean, we can't have that in the middle of the city. And if this is going to be an ongoing trend, we really need to hold these folks accountable and take care of it. And the fact that it took so long, because it was there for a long time, it took so long for somebody to see that is alarming. But I know Mr. Fasciana and that department do a great job. And I also know that they can't get to everything, but certain things we should prioritize. And this is one of those things, and we don't want to see this being a trend. Outside of that, I had a really good conversation last week with Paula Wingard around public comment. And I think, for the public to understand why, number one, that's not a requirement for us to do on our agenda. But I believe this body feels it's important to hear from the general public about their concerns, their complaints, their criticisms, if you will, of the city, because that's what we get paid to do, is deal with those types of issues throughout the city. And that gives them.
Now, that's a good speech, because at that time last year, I think he was running for county commissioner. After they had already lied and put charges on me saying that I trespassed and all this other stuff, yet they can't quote the council rule where I trespassed. And so this is Demakia giving his big speech. And he's running for commissioner of this, he has a conversation with Paula Wingard. Okay, what's Paula do? She doesn't get up and talk. She sends Jane up, and they both support Mary Springowski. So that's what we have with those ladies. Nothing against, they can support who they want to. But this is the problem. I question it, and it's a crime, it's a sin. I'm charged with intimidation, menacing, all this other stuff, to ask the clerk a question. But I didn't ask the clerk. I asked the mayor a question on July 1st. And Joelle screamed at me. Let's continue now. There's a point to all this. I'm going to show it in a few minutes.
The platform to come to our public meeting and address their comments. And I think this evening was a good example of why we do that, because we had a lot of great issues that need to be addressed. And I just want to clarify that process, because the public comments is for you to comment, but it's not really a question and answer or a debate. We'd be here for days if we engaged in that kind of dialogue in this body. Our council meetings are for us to do our business. And
that's a good point. We would be there for days if the citizens asked questions at the meeting. Well, we have asked questions. We've sent emails. Later on, I will show emails. I've sent to Joelle Arredondo, no response. I've sent to Mary Springowski, no response. I've sent to all of council, no response. So when Jane and Paula were yelling out here a few weeks ago, and they got thrown out, told to get out, or we're going to charge you with trespassing, they were frustrated. But in the meantime, they took the side of somebody that was spreading rumors that I intimidated somebody, that I aggressively attacked somebody. Yet, Brianna Dahl's own statement to the cops that I didn't say any threatening words. Let's continue with Demakia.
And we had a lot of business to do and get to our agenda. And that is part of our business, is representing the very people that vote us into these seats. And we have to make sure that we do that.
I'm glad you say that you're going to make sure you do that. Okay. On September the 3rd, Mary Springowski passed something to you. You put it in her mouth, your mouth. She put it in her mouth. I want to know what that was. I've asked. You won't respond, Tony Demakia. How come? I asked Springowski what was in her, what she take out of her purse and give me. It hasn't. Nobody responded. Why? That's 14 days ago, 2 weeks. Yet you're trying to pretend like you're going to represent the people, and you don't. It's just lip service.
But in saying that, I think it's important to also know, I assume in most cases that when we have issues at this mic and people come up here and address it, that we also have a follow-up from the administration and people, because, again, I think that when...
How about a follow-up from the council members like yourself? How about your partner there? Remember she untied your shoe last year? Touchy during the meeting? Didn't she pass you something this year from her purse? What was it? Name it. Is it a prescription? Is it a candy? Is it a gummy? Is it gum? What is it, Tony? I've asked. What is it? You all want to be responsible to the citizens until the citizens hold you responsible. Then you don't have no comment, right? Let's watch some more.
When folks come up here and they address this body and even the administration, we may not have your answer. The people may not be in this room that need to answer that question. And for us to have a little bit of time to get you the accurate and appropriate answer to your issues is important. But I just want to make sure that I'm making the proper assumption that we are addressing those concerns. And I will say this, that, you know, Mr. Ruiz's problem that he came up here, this is the second time he's come here. And I hope that somebody's looking into it. I'm going to ask that somebody look into that. I don't know everything around it, but then I look at the Oakdale home grant that's on our agenda tonight, and I don't know if this is the same situation. These folks are entering into this loan, and they're going to get it, or, you know, excuse me, it's not, Mr. Hawks, I believe, right, that he had to deal with. And I don't know all the ins and outs of those loans, but it sounded to me like he got a loan, but he had to depend on the city dictating who's doing the work at his place. And I'm confused, and I don't have all the answers, and I'm not asking for the answers. But what I am asking is that we at least look into that situation and address Mr. Hawks, Mr. Ruiz, and these folks that come here to make sure that we're doing all that we can. And again, I don't know your situation and all the details as a councilman. I just have your side.
I've addressed these issues that I have and tagged you in the email, Tony. You and your cohorts over there don't respond. I know why you don't. You don't want to leave a paper trail. But so that's why you go, on covert with Springowski asking for me to be banned from council chambers. That's against the First Amendment. I have a right to be there. She wants to use color of law against me. You want me banned. You said that in your email too. This is why I have to sue you people. This is why Aaron Knapp sues you. This is why the city of Lorraine has over 50 lawsuits. The citizens are only hearing about 2 or 3 of us that have lawsuits, but there's over 50 active lawsuits right now, Lorraine. Ask the council and the law department right there, why do we have so many lawsuits in Lorraine? Why are police getting away with wrecking cars and possibly unable to drive at night, backing into fences, driving up over people's sheds? But that's all covered up because they were 2 men cops, and you got a woman cop. She's charged right off the bat, man. They got to put this right on there. She was doing 64 miles an hour through the intersection and wrecked at 21st and Elyria Avenue. Why don't you people follow up, Tony? You're the head of the cop committee, right? The police and fire. Let's continue.
And I don't know what the administration side is on that particular loan and a lien on your mother's house, but I think it's important for us to make sure that we're looking into those issues and addressing them in a timely manner. And I trust that we are. But again, I just felt that after that conversation, I think it's important that we clarify why we have that public comments. It is a valuable part of our meetings, but we just don't have the time or the resources or even sometimes the answers to address it right here on this council floor. And can we also make a clarification when folks come up here and speak, whether they have to state their address or not? My understanding is there's no legal or
Mr. Mack, your points are well taken. A couple items. Number 1, about the addresses.
Hold on.
You have been there. No. We got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes, okay? So regarding your comment, which you're fine. I want to, once again, for comments, this isn't a whole meeting, just a couple comments, okay? But your comments are well taken. In this, I very rarely should have authorized. This isn't a back and forth, okay? So anyways, Mr. Nutt scheduled a meeting. Mr. Nutt scheduled a committee meeting. He was asked by the administration not to hold a meeting regarding the Mr. Ruiz and also this new gentleman who came today. Okay? So, just to clarify a couple things. Number two, as to stating your address, we talked about this 2 meetings ago. All you have to do is give your name and write the name down. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, I don't need your comments. I don't. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Springhouse, Mr. Carrion.
All right, now you heard him say Miss Springowski, then he said Mr. Carrion. That's not in the minutes here. Because Springowski was talking out of turn and her mic was shut off, and then they turned it on for her so she could run her mouth. So there's another flaw in the minutes. It just goes from one to the next. They don't get permission, but he did say the permission. How come it's not an accurate minutes written here? That council voted on. Council doesn't vote on the meeting on demand. They vote on the written and spoken minutes. And they okayed this, right? But it's flawed. Let's watch this show now.
Meeting. You are the facilitator at this meeting. You're not to give an opinion. You are not to try to sway a vote.
That's the point I'm trying to make at this whole thing. You're not to try to sway a vote. Right? Let's back this up 10 seconds. Make sure.
This is council meeting. You are the facilitator at this meeting. You're not to give an opinion. You are not to try to sway a vote. You are here to facilitate the meeting. This is our meeting to deal with the issues that come before the city as we are the appropriating and the legislative body.
That's very interesting there, isn't it? Very interesting there, what she said. We'll go down and we'll go through her whole thing. Because I want you to remember, you're not here to sway a vote. She tells Joel that.
All right. And too often, you cut off Mrs. Duvall. You failed to recognize our lights. And you are controlling this meeting. That is not your job. It is to facilitate. You need to look up the definition of facilitate versus controlling the meeting. And I've got Robert's Rules of Order and a cheat sheet in my mailbox in there if you need to refer to it. But this has happened for too many years. His comments were very well taken. We have some serious issues in this where people are not.
Let's go back and listen to this.
You need to look up the definition of facilitate versus controlling the meeting. And I've got Robert's Rules of Order and a cheat sheet in my mailbox in there if you need to refer to it. But this has happened for too many years. His comments were very well taken.
This has happened for too many years. See, this is the coalition now between Springowski and Demakia. 2 years earlier, they were at each other's throat over my deposition, throwing stones at glass houses. Now they're the coalition of Lorraine. She plays with his foot at the end of the year last year, and then she gives him something out of her purse this year. Let's continue with Mary Springowski's speech here.
We have some serious issues in this where departments are not getting back to us, and we don't have answers for our constituents. All right?
That's perfect. Let's go over here a minute. Let's see here. All right, here I sent an email June the 30th. I asked Mary Springowski who the council member was that aided and abetted somebody in attacking the clerk. I asked for that. Joel Arredondo here said that he got an email from the chief of police the day before he gave his deposition to the police or interview to Lieutenant Morris. I've asked for that email. He hasn't sent it to me. So I resent that today. And I'm going to read this. I sent this at 7:12 this morning. It's now 11:22. Mr. Arredondo, Mrs. Springowski, please respond to my request from September 16th, 2024. Meeting minutes claims by Springowski. This has happened too many times. His comments were very well taken. We have serious issues, and there is people where departments are not getting back to us, and we don't have answers for our constituents. That's what she just said in the video I just posted, right? Okay, she hasn't responded to me. I'm a constituent. So here's what else I said. So my direct questions to you both, Arredondo and Springowski, I have asked you both to provide information from your emails, both received and sent. Mr. Arredondo, please send the email from former Chief McCann you claim to have received during your police interview with Lieutenant Morris, July 3rd, 2024, per 149.43 Ohio Revised Code, because I want to see if he was leading you and directing you on how to respond to Mr. Lieutenant Morris's questions to you during the police interview. This is all evidence in my case, Mr. Arredondo. You swore an oath to protect my rights, so that's a right. Now, Ms. Springowski, please send your claimed recording from July 1st, 2024 police interview with Lieutenant Morris. Springowski claims in her police interview that she recorded me. We've been waiting for a year. Where's the recording at, Mary? Also, the name of the council member who was involved in the alleged attack on Dahl, July the 1st. Right here. This is in her email. What I take issue with is the fact that one of our members of council essentially aided and abetted in this attack on our council clerk. She says that it's a fact, and this is a city email address. Okay? And most recent request by me for the council rule prohibiting anyone from going past the council barrier after council meetings have adjourned. Also, the sworn oath of the clerk Dahl. She hasn't resent that to me. She's supposed to swear an oath. She receives a salary. And now Captain Morris, I want to see his sworn oath where he's a deputy clerk of courts. Clerk of courts Ted Kalo doesn't have it. So he didn't swear him in. But he has put himself off as a clerk of courts. Let's get this here real quick. We'll just do one of these. Because every one of these has Morris, 2657 is his police number. He signed this as a deputy clerk. He did this. Jacob Forer, sworn to Jacob Morris. A misdemeanor of menacing. Criminal trespass. By Brianna Dahl signed all this. This is Morris. Morris is saying he's a clerk. What is this one here? Here's a felony. This must be the intimidation. Intimidation, a felony of the 3rd degree. Brianna Dahl signed this. She's being sworn that Garen Petty did this. Here's a deputy clerk of courts. Where's your sworn oath at, Mr. Morris? Are you pretending to be a clerk and you're not? Mr. Kalo doesn't have your information there. So let's continue this, people. So that's what I've asked for today, this morning. They don't want to send nothing. We'll go back here to shut this off. Springowski, what else does she have to say?
This trailer on 8th and 12th, or 8th and Washington, it's the first time I heard about a house being hit. I mean, Dave Feliciano can tell you, I had turned that in for 4 months. It was when they had the dogs outside that weren't being attended to that finally something was done. And I feel very badly that their house was hit, and I understand the backlog on the prefab homes. And at least that would have given me something to take back to the people in that area that are constantly calling me. But stop cutting us off and stop censoring us and stifling us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ball?
They all clapped for her when she said that. Okay, let's see if we can find this one now. Fast forward to September 17th, 2025. There's no minutes here, so we'll just have to go with the meeting on demand. This is Aaron Knapp speaking. Let's hear this. Let's see where I'm at now. We'll start.
Of it. Those didn't come with a footnote. It said accept the amendments that feel inconvenient.
I want to make sure we start here with this thing. I'm rewinding this 10 seconds at a time. Now remember what I said about Springowski, about Joel cutting people off, and he's there to facilitate, and he's not there to solicit votes or make opinions, right? Let's watch.
Our next speaker is Aaron Knapp, and I'm sorry, the topic is unclear.
First one was just emails.
Go to the mic, please.
That's what I was doing. First one was just emails. So, good evening, Council, and through the chair. Treasurer Soto
And remember, he says the first one was just emails.
recently implied that our constitutional rights, our amendments might be worth setting aside in the name of security. Let me also remind you, no amendment is disposable. No oath of office permits you to trade liberty for convenience. Each of you swore to uphold the Constitution, not betray it when it comes politically uncomfortable. Even the Chronicle, hardly a conservative outlet, has called for this dangerous way of thinking to be stopped. That is why I recently requested an investigation into Miss Mary Springowski after learning that she distributed my emails to Tia Hilton. This was a breach of trust and policy. I specifically asked that one of my emails be read here tonight and said, file it in the trash circular bin as you always do. Even worse, Councilwoman Springowski has attempted to reframe my speech as violence. She claimed my emails were an intimidation act, violent in nature. That is not only false, but it's dangerous speech, and it's not violence. Confronting elected officials in this favor with words is not violence, it's democracy. The courts have made that plain in Morrow v. Cincinnati. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that citizens cannot be punished merely for speech that annoys or offends officials. In the U.S. v. Bartlett, the court again confirmed that government cannot retaliate against citizens simply because it dislikes what they say. The real violence here is the misuse of city offices, city emails, and the city authority to smear critics while protecting insiders. When Mary Springowski or others twist lawful speech into false claims of threats, they are not defending democracy, they're eroding it. So I ask again, when will this council act? When will you enforce the same rules on yourself that you demand from the public? So that happens, the people of Lorraine cannot trust that this chamber serves them instead of protecting their own. Thank you very much. And again, this is me confronting you. This is not violence. This is me speaking to you, or I'm supposed to speak to you in a very nice way. So, thank you.
Thank you. Item 9, committee reports.
Mr. Knapp signed up to speak twice this evening.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I figured, so I'll get back to the mic. This one is as a veteran, and excuse me.
Mr. Knapp, the rules of council.
You read through it last week. You have to let me do it.
Mr. Knapp, who has the prerogative. I gave a little leniency.
No, you gave full leeway under the Constitution, sir. I demand that you allow me my time to speak as a veteran.
What don't you understand? You get one time. Council members, Mr. Knapp, please. Council members, I will defer to you if you want to let Mr. Knapp speak. It is your prerogative, yes or no. I've already stated my position, and this man has no respect for the chair, so maybe they'll have respect for council.
I'm going to shut that off stop that right there, pause it, because remember, he said he's already stated his position. His position is he doesn't want Aaron Knapp to speak. Mary Springowski, remember what she said? Stop cutting people off. You're here to facilitate. You're not here to solicit votes or influence votes. Let's see if this affects her vote on this. Since Mr. Joel Arredondo stated, let's go back and make sure. Let's listen to Joel.
Mr. Knapp, please. Council members, I will defer to you if you want to let Mr. Knapp speak. It is your prerogative, yes or no. I've already stated my position, and this man has no respect for the chair, so maybe they'll have respect for council. So please vote. Please vote.
He was so frustrated, he didn't even get a motion to vote. But he will.
No, you don't want to speak. I'll follow lessons tomorrow. Have fun.
Can you make a motion to vote on?
Motion from council, Mr. Arroyo.
I'd like to make a motion to let Mr. Knapp speak.
Mr. Kempton. Ms. Kempton.
I'll second it.
Please vote.
The motion to allow Mr. Knapp to speak carries with 5 dissenting votes. Voting no are Mrs. Springowski.
Mrs. Springowski votes no, yet 1 year ago to the day, she was telling Joel to quit interrupting people, quit soliciting or influencing votes. And Springowski just voted no because Joel wanted to voted no if he had a chance against Mr. Knapp. Let's see who else listened to Joel.
Mr. Nutt, Ms. Moon, Mr. Arroyo, and Mr. Thornsberry.
They all voted no. After a year ago, Mary Springowski told Joel, stop trying to influence votes. Yet she allowed it to go this time because that's what Joel was on her side. So this is how it's going to be now. Springowski says one thing a year ago. I go look it up. And then a year later, she changes it.
Thank you. Proceed, Mr. Knapp. You have 2 minutes.
Now remember who voted yes. Beth Henley, Victoria Kempton, Pam Carter, Tony DeMacchia, Sylvia Duvall, and over here where the camera doesn't get her is Mary Spelliscy. 6 voted yes, 5 voted no. Yet a year ago, Springowski told Joel, stop interrupting us. What did she say here? Mary, Councilperson Springowski, this is a council meeting. You are the facilitator at this meeting. You are not to give opinion. You are not to try to sway a vote. You are here to facilitate the meeting. That was Springowski a year ago. Fast forward. She voted no.
No, you don't want to speak. I'll follow lessons tomorrow. Have fun.
Can you make a motion to vote on?
Motion from council, Mr. Arroyo.
I'd like to make a motion to let Mr. Knapp speak.
Mr. Kempton. Ms. Kempton,
I'll second it.
please vote.
The motion to allow Mr. Knapp to speak carries with 5 dissenting votes. Voting no are Mrs. Springowski,
Mrs. Springowski voted no after Joel did what? You are not to try to sway a vote. You are here to facilitate. This is why I go back and read these minutes. I've already caught where people started talking without permission according to the minutes. But you want to call me names. You people want to call Aaron Knapp names. In the meantime, the people that you're following around this town are lying to us. They're not getting back with the constituents. Stop censoring and stifling us, is what Springowski said, right? Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? When you go back and look at what these people say, you can't say that I'm picking on somebody or stalking somebody. These are their own words. These are the elected words of the officials. And like I've said before, here's a transcript. Transcript of interviews conducted by Lieutenant Morris of the Lorraine Police Department. Joel Arredondo, Anthony Damachia, Dan Nutt, Mary Springowski. This is it, 90-some pages. We have all their words here. And remember, their words are supposed to match with what they're doing because they're talking to the police. We've already caught them in not correct answers. Here's a transcript of Acting Chief Michael Failing, Lieutenant Jacob Morris, Paula Wingard, and Jane Morales, and others. All right? This was at that council meeting. So now that Chief Failing is here, we're going to have to, we got Chief Failing. He's being subpoenaed to my court case October the 2nd. Here is Mr. Morris, Lieutenant Morris's testimony in front of the judge, August the 5th. Remember, I've gone through this before on some of these things. This is how I catch these people. I go back and I proofread. I watch the minutes. It's just one of these things, people. This is what I do. People tell me to get a life. This is my life. Watchdogging. Holding the government accountable to our tax dollars, to their words. You know, correcting them. Article 1, Section 3, Ohio Constitution allows us to instruct our representatives. But when we try to instruct them, they accuse us of harassment, violence, stalking. They don't know what correction is. They don't want correction. But I've just shown with the videos, Joel, you're not supposed to sway votes unless it's in Mary Springowski's favor. Well, she should have spoke up and said, Robert's Rules of Order, you can't be giving your opinion on how you would vote against Mr. Knapp because now I'm influenced and I have to vote with you, Joel. That's how I would analyze that. Mary voted. Joanne voted. Dan voted. Angel voted and Joshua voted because Joel influenced the vote. Too bad there was other people, 6 people that weren't influenced and allowed Aaron Knapp to vote, to speak Monday night. So, hey, like I said, this is what I do, people. Right? Let's see now. I got to show this because this is just what I do. Let me open this up here. I can X all this stuff out now. I can X this out, X this out, X out. Let's see what I got here. We can X this out and go over here to my photos. Here's one of my newest photos. Remember Lori Dunphy? She said I was an idiot. Lori Dunphy. You are an idiot just like your buddy. Well, thank you, Lori. But I do ask questions. You don't. Right there, Lori Dunphy said I was an idiot. So there you have it, Lorraine. I'm going to download this and put it on YouTube. And then we will analyze it. My attorney and I will go over this and we will see what we're going to use. Because I follow up on my homework. I investigate. When I'm being accused of something, they better have the facts. They can't lie to police. We've caught them in lies. Tony DeMacchia might be the one that wanted this stuff, wanted me banned from council. I got him on tape. I got somebody else on tape that says Tony wanted me banned. Springowski said it on tape. She wanted me banned. Why do you want me banned, Mary? Huh? So you can lead your groupies around by the nose, your moles. And those moles haven't been on Facebook lately saying anything. Lorraine Ritchie, you're in trouble too. You people go against citizens. You're supposed to protect us, protect our rights. It's not up to the police to protect us. We know they don't. Because we have the police officers lying. The ex-chief of police lied. Said I entered the barrier and I cornered Brianna Dahl and started yelling at her. That's what the police's email was. And then he ordered his other police friend, as a sitting police chief now, to make it happen. October the 7th, they're all invited as witnesses. The court starts October the 6th, the trial, 2025, Lorraine Municipal Court. Everybody is invited. The national media is invited. Institute for Justice is invited. The First Amendment Clinic at Case Western Reserve Law Students is invited. Whether they come or not, I don't know, but they're all invited. We ought to have a good time. Less than 3 weeks to go. And Mary, remember. And Joel, let's get out here and get this in here. Please answer my question. Give us your video, Mary. Joel, give us your email from McCann. And then you can say that you're married. Then you can say you got back with your constituent, meaning me and my wife and the other 60,000 citizens of Lorraine that really want to know what our government's doing. Stop hiding from us. It's now 11:46 a.m. Darren Petty, I'm out.